It will surprise you to know that the law does not even define what consent is. Yeah. But you see, for you to know what something is, you should be able to know what it's not. So the law gives instances where consent will not be valid. The aim is not to define what consent is. The aim is to explain what amounts to an invalid consent. You understand that? So if you go looking through the laws of Ghana, you will not find anything as consent being defined.
Right.
You would only see instances where invalid consent or consent that is not valid is explained, and the instances where consent that is given will not be valid in the eyes of the law. So to answer your question, no laws in Ghana explain consent when it comes to sexual activities.
Okay.
Yeah. But they give the instances where...
But they give the instances.
Where consent will be invalid.
Right. Can you give us some of those instances?
Yeah. For instance, a person below 16 years cannot consent to sex in Ghana.
Right.
No matter how willing the person might have been from the conduct of the person. Where you happen to have sexual relations with such a person, then of course the laws call it defilement. You understand that? And then consent that is procured by means of deceit is not a valid consent in the eyes of the law.
Right.
Consent that is procured through coercion, or what the lawyers call duress, is also not a valid consent in law. And also consent that is given under a certain mistaken fact, okay, is also not a valid consent. So if you invert all these instances, that is where you get a valid consent.
Right.
Yeah, so
okay.
These are the instances where consent would not be valid, even though it has been given.
Even though it has been given. Yeah.